All right, this isn't necessarily one you want to listen to with your kids. Adam at Trump Nation here. Hey, I'm just the messenger, and I'll say things positive and negative because we can assume Hillary, it's not going to be Bernie. We'll have crack researchers dealing with anything I could possibly come up with. So if we're Trump supporters, we better be ready to deal with anything they can throw against us. And this is something. Okay, the Trump penis issue has been in the news today. I assume you're up to speed on that. Basically, Rubio, he was calling him little. Trump was calling Senator Rubio little Marco Rubio, and then Rubio did what should have been pretty obvious, given the circumstances, which I'm not familiar with. Talked about the size of Trump's hands and said the what's corresponds to that. By the way, an interesting thing on that note, I think Michael Vick's football career is done, and he had not small hands, but small hands for an NFL quarterback. And it always seemed to hurt him late in the year when the weather was cold, when I guess more Roethlisberger type hands are an advantage. I remember that with the Eagles when he was having that MVP type season until it got cold. And this was something he dealt with throughout his career, though in Atlanta he obviously played in the dome. But that is really a digression. And the point here is Anne Barnhardt, whom I love. A lot of people say she's crazy. She's the most accurate person. I am that conservative. I'm not Catholic, but I see the world the way she does. Probably a little scary. But she was onto this issue, sort of, in more polite terms, not that much more polite terms, 6 months ago. And you know what? It's out there. Someone's going to find it, so you might as well hear what it is. And so here it is with my commentary. And I put the picture, my favorite picture, up there because I like her comment about it. Though it's a little awkward for Trump Nation, but we got to deal with these things. And I'm going to read you the whole thing because some of you may be driving, walking your dog, and I've wasted enough time. So here it is. It's August 11th, 2015, Anne Barnhardt. All her stuff can be found at barnhardt.biz, though very recently she started writing for another publication. I can't remember the name of it off the top of her head, off my head. No, it's The Remnant. That's enough intro. Here's the article. So you think a man who builds mirror penis skyscrapers and names them all after himself is cause for hope? Really? She writes. To say that watching people fawn over the psycho carnival barker Trump makes me nauseous with despair is putting it mildly. The Barnhardt axiom. This is in bold. The fact that a given person is holding or even seeking high-level public office is, in and of itself, proof that said person is morally and or psychologically unfit to hold public office. I do wonder if that applies to Dr. Carson. But anyhow, here's what she continues to write. So, who said the following? I'll give you 47 guesses. 1, I probably identify more as a Democrat. 2, I've been around for a long time, and it just seems that the economy does better under the Democrats than the Republicans. 3, Nancy, you're the best. Congrats. Signature. Handwritten note to Speaker Nancy Pelosi. 4, Bush is probably the worst president in the history of the United States. 5, she has in bold, and this is a big issue for her. 5, I'm totally pro-choice. 6, I want to see the abortion issue removed from politics. I believe it is a personal decision that should be left to the women and their doctors. 7, I'm very liberal when it comes to healthcare. In bold, I believe in universal healthcare. 8, the Canadian plan also helps Canadians live longer and healthier than Americans. We need as a nation to re-examine the single-payer plan. 9, by imposing a one-time 14.25% net worth tax on the richest individuals and trusts, we can put America on sound financial footing for the next century. 10, I think Obama, has a chance to go down as a great president. Well, I mean, a lot of people would have said that before he started, though our blinders weren't on in a lot of cases. Stumped? I'll give you a hint. Now in bold, this person has donated over $100,000 to the Clinton Foundation. That part was in underline as well as bold. And Hillary Clinton sat in the front row of this person's most recent wedding. She goes on. I'd just like to also mention for the record the fact that we are all up in arms about Pope Francis and his fanboys getting ready to eviscerate the sacrament of marriage later this fall, but don't even bat an eyelash when public figures have a string of ex-spouses. I guess I'm just being completely unreasonable, unrealistic, and, wait for it, immoderate to expect any degree of intellectual consistency from anyone ever. After all, it's a postmodern world, and the essence and battle cry of modernism is, we don't actually believe what we believe. So here's the answer. All of the quotes above are from the Second Coming of George Washington, or Constantine. Oh, no, wait, the Second Coming of Constantine is Putin. Okay, so she goes with the penis theme again. That developer of mirror penis skyscrapers. By the way, how do you have a skyscraper that isn't, at least in a very rough form, somewhat the shape of a penis? I mean, you're not going to have one the shape of a vagina. It just wouldn't work. I digress. That developer of mirror penis skyscrapers, which he then names after himself because that is so totally not indicative of anything even remotely problematic. And then he has a picture that you see up there of Trump, Hillary, Bill, and Melania. And I love the ending of this. I've quoted this time and time again and modified it. I love the ending. It has nothing to do with Trump and penis, at least. But I'm going to read this slowly. Write it down if you want. The only function I would attend with Bill and/or Hillary Clinton, people who are rapists, murderers, and guilty of capital crimes against humanity, would be their public executions. That was posted on August 11th, 2015. And again, it's by Ann Barnhardt at barnhardt.biz, barnhardt.biz. She's the best. She might scare you a little bit. Don't read it before night if you're fragile, before you go to bed at night. And the title once more is So You Think a Man Who Builds Mirror Penis Skyscrapers and Names Them All After Himself is Cause for Hope? Really? This is Adam at Trump Nation. We got to think these things through, like it or not. It's coming.